Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a specific and sometimes tricky fault code that plagues many Jeep owners, P00AA. If you've plugged in your scanner and this code popped up, don't panic. We're going to break down exactly what it means, what causes it, and, most importantly, how to fix it without just throwing parts at the problem. So, what is P00AA? The official definition is intake air temperature sensor, circuit range performance. Let's simplify that. Your Jeep's engine needs a precise mix of air and fuel to run efficiently. To get that mix right, the engine control module, or ECM, needs to know the temperature of the air coming into the engine. That's the job of the intake air temperature sensor, or IATA sensor. The P00AA code means the signal the ECM is getting from that IAT sensor is not what it expects to see. It's either out of the normal range, or it's behaving erratically. Think of it like this. If it's 70 degrees outside, but your sensor is telling the computer it's -40, the computer knows something is wrong. This can lead to all sorts of issues like poor fuel economy, rough idling, hesitation during acceleration, and of course that annoying check engine light. Now, it's important to know that on many modern Jeeps, especially those with turbocharged engines, the IAT sensor isn't a standalone part. It's often integrated into the MAP sensor, which stands for Manifold Absolute Pressure Sensor. They call this a TMAP sensor, for Temperature and Manifold Absolute Pressure. This is a key detail because it changes how we approach the diagnosis. So, what are the common culprits for a P00AA code? The most obvious suspect is a faulty IAT sensor itself. Over time, these sensors can fail, get coated in oil or grime, or just wear out. But hold on, don't just run out and buy a new sensor yet. That's the #1 mistake people make. A far more common cause, especially on Jeeps that see a bit of action, is a wiring problem. We're talking about broken wires, loose connections, or corrosion in the connector. The wiring harness near the sensor is exposed to a lot of heat and vibration, making it a prime spot for issues. A rodent could have even decided your wiring looked like a tasty snack. Another possibility is a problem with the ECM. While it's the least likely cause, it's not impossible. The ECM could have a faulty driver that's not correctly interpreting the sensor's signal. We always save this for the last step in our diagnosis because it's the most expensive and rare failure. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. How do we fix this? First, you need a good OBD to scanner that can read live data. This is crucial. Don't just read the code and clear it. Go into the live data stream and look for the IAT reading. When the engine is cold and has been sitting overnight, the IAT reading should be very close to the ambient air temperature and the coolant temperature. If you see a reading that's wildly different, like -40 or over 250 degrees, you've confirmed a problem. Next, start with a visual inspection. Pop the hood and locate the IAT, or TMAP sensor. It's usually mounted on the intake manifold or the air intake tube after the air filter. Check the electrical connector. Is it plugged in securely? Is there any visible damage, green corrosion, or oil contamination? Wiggle the connector and the nearby wires while watching the live data on your scanner. If the temperature reading jumps around wildly, you've likely found a loose connection or a broken wire. If the visual inspection doesn't reveal anything, it's time to test the sensor itself. You can do this with unplug the sensor. Most IAT sensors are thermistors, meaning their resistance changes with temperature. You can check the resistance across the two pins. Then, you can gently heat the sensor with a hairdryer nut, a torch, and you should see the resistance value change smoothly. If it doesn't change, or if it's an open circuit, the sensor is bad. Also, check the wiring, with the key on and the sensor unplugged. One of the wires in the connector should have a 5-volt reference signal from the ECM, and the other should be a good ground. If you're missing either of these, the problem is in the wiring between the sensor and the ECM, not the sensor itself. This is where a wiring diagram for your specific Jeep model becomes your best friend. So, to recap the diagnostic steps. 1. Scan for codes and view live IAT data. 2. Perform a thorough visual inspection of the sensor, connector, and wiring. 3. Wiggle test the harness while watching live data. 4. If needed, test the sensor's resistance and the connector's voltage and ground. Only after confirming the wiring is good and the sensor is indeed faulty should you replace it. And when you do, always use a high-quality OEM or reputable aftermarket part. Cheap sensors are notorious for failing quickly or providing inaccurate readings right out of the box. After replacing the part, clear the codes and take the Jeep for a drive to make sure the light stays off. Fixing the P00AA code is all about proper diagnosis. By following these steps, you can pinpoint the exact cause and avoid wasting time and money. I hope this guide helps you get your Jeep back on the road and running smoothly. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more DIY repair guides. Got a question? Drop it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to help out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.